We are making our way down the top 100 video games of all time. At number 91, we've got Fight Night as a series, but I think what we're really talking about is Fight Night Round 3, aren't we?
I think what you're talking about is one of my favorite game series.
Solid shot, puts him on the floor.
I want to talk about the whole series, going all the way back to Knockout Kings, which I was a huge fan of. The reason I bring it up is because so much of what made that game great eventually bled into the Fight Night series. It wouldn't exist without Knockout Kings. Now, the big turning point was when a game came out from Japan called Victorious Boxers. The control scheme in the game was unlike any control scheme we'd ever seen before. Now, if you push the analog stick a little bit forward, your guy would bob and weave, and if you pushed it all the way forward, he would actually move around the ring. EA would eventually co-opt that control scheme and refine it in their Fight Night series, and with each iteration, it got better and better and better, with the most recent installation being Fight Night Champion in 2011.
Blew our toupees off, as you like to say. That was an amazing game, but Fight Night Round 3, which was one of the first big Xbox 360 games, was so revolutionary because we had never seen graphics quite like this.
Never seen sweat and blood articulated flying through the air. Goes a blood drop.
Here's Tommy and my reaction to Fight Night Round 3.
Fight Night Round 3. We took a look at it on the Xbox 360 because that's where the hotness is.
I think this is by far the first true next-generation experience.
You've got great blooming effects around the characters. You've got cool sort of environmental lighting coming in from all kinds of sources.
The skin and the face and the pain.
That's
I mean,
all
you can
incredible
see
too.
that. The facial animations are absolutely unbelievable.
The graphics are the big sort of flashy story about this thing, but it really has refined and enhanced the gameplay since the last Fight Night game.
When Ollie walks into that ring, or Sugar Ray, or any of the great ones, you actually feel like they come alive and they're young again.
My favorite part about this game is the ESPN Classic matches where you
Black and white.
Oh my God, you have like Jake LaMotta fighting
the Raging Bull.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
You never got me down, Ray.
Incredible, the visuals on that with all of this sort of black and white kind of aesthetic, definitely right out of the Raging Bull film. There's all kinds of achievements to unlock. 9 out of 10 for me.
I'm going to give it a 9 as well.
Now, this was one of the first games that really showed us what a next-generation video game could look like.
100%.
Remember the slow-motion knockout?
Oh, and now the real test. Can he get up after going down a second time?
It articulated spit and blood flying through the air. That's next gen.
I think it kind of ruined it for a lot of other game developers, and I could just imagine them watching that stuff
the drawing
and
board moment.
Oh my God, they made characters that look like that.
How
I know.
are we going to top that? We've got a couple of really memorable characters right out of the game. We got Andre Bishop, who's the star of the game. He's an up-and-coming fighter. You start off as an amateur fighter.
And he's got a brother who's also a fighter, Big Baby Bishop,
who's got a big mouth, and you just know right from the start. I mean, this thing is rife with cliche. You know right from the start where it's going.
It's Rocky IV.
That's not Rocky IV. It's every Rocky movie.
God, you got more heart than any other fighter I've ever known.
We were talking about this before the camera started rolling and how incredibly emotionally invested we both were.
Totally.
Playing through the champion mode, I would forget to breathe during rounds.
What are you going to give Fight Night Champion?
9.5 from me.
Gets a 9 from me. Awesome work, EA.
I am worried now that the Fight Night series is dead. Champion didn't sell very well. You can pick it up on PlayStation Network. You can play the career mode for $5. And I strongly suggest you do. It's so exciting.
It is amazing, but
it's
boxing
riveting.
really doesn't have the kind of status that it once
EA
had.
is putting all of its resources into UFC right now. They're making that game, and in fact, probably the last remnant of the Fight Night series we're ever going to see is in NHL 14 this year because they've taken the engine and they've used it in the game as the fighting engine.
And the question is, can he rise up and continue on?
Well, Fight Night might be gone for right now, but we will never forget it. It is number 91 on our list.
Thumbs up.